The everlasting argument, Jurassic Park versus reality. Now, it's pretty common knowledge nowadays that Jurassic Park was made back when we didn't know as much about dinosaurs that we do now. However, there are several key things that also made them aware of what they were doing, both in the book and when directing the movie. Let's get into some of my top picks that I wish to address. Number 1. The Dilophosaurus. I hope most people know it by now, but hey, these guys never spat poison. They did not even have a neck frill. Instead of actively hunting a chunky guy trying to get into his car with a can of shaving cream, they were most likely scavengers. And if it did do any sort of hunting, it was probably smaller creatures, as the Dilophosaurus was a slender predator. Oh, and right, they were also quite a bit larger than depicted. Number 2. The T-Rex. Now, I've already touched on that Jurassic Park actually got the T-Rex fairly right in terms of that it most likely was a scaly beast, or at least featherless in its adult years. I can't stress this enough, that there were no such thing as a colorful chicken look-alike T-Rex. It's stupid, it makes no sense that an apex predator would be colorful and give away all of its ambush potential, and honestly it triggers me to this day when people so hard claim that they had feathers. They had them when they were young and later shed them, and this has been proven by paleontologists as only small or no feathers at all have been found on adults. Also, of course, teeth were not outside of the mouth. So, what I want to touch on is the roar. The T-Rex most likely did not roar at all. It is more certain that it could have done low cooing noises like birds and might have emitted a low frequency sound to communicate. Take a listen. This sound is something humans are born to naturally fear, and is also used in a lot of horror. Of course, we will never truly be able to know what it sounded like, but this is quite close to what we can imagine looking at its structure. Number 3. The Velociraptors. Oh boy, let's go. I touched slightly on this in my 5 misconceptions video. Now, when making Jurassic Park, they wanted something scary, something fast and dangerous. Velociraptors. But Velociraptors were pretty small creatures, so how did this happen? Well, they simply took a look at the Utahraptor. However, it didn't sound cool. Velociraptors sounded cooler, and that is the actual argument. So the raptors we see in Jurassic Park are basically featherless Utahraptors, as it is common knowledge now that raptors did indeed sport a nice plumage. Number 4. Spinosaurus versus T-Rex. Now, this happened only because the fact that there are clone dinosaurs from different time eras. I've touched on this in my Tyrannosaurus myths video, however this is a bit of a different point. Now, the thing about these two fighting, if we take a quick look at how the Spinosaurus was built, its teeth are not made to grapple on the tough skin, it's made to catch fish. Its spine is exposed, which is also the weakest point of the Spinosaurus. Looking at both dinosaurs' bone structure and piecing together what we know, the T-Rex would have whooped the floor with it. But of course, it is the main villain of Jurassic Park 3, I guess, so gotta keep it alive and scary. Number 5. The Brachiosaurus. Standing on hind legs, chewing leaves like a cow, feet looking like an elephant, the Brachiosaurus was first and foremost too front heavy. Standing on its hind legs would be defying all forms of physics. Dinosaurs wasn't really able to move their mouth from side to side. They most likely raked the leaves and just swallowed them whole. To help with digestion, they could have swallowed small rocks to help grind the vegetation, which has been found. Sorry Brachiosaurus, no dessert until you've had your pebbles. That was cringy. Now, we all know Jurassic Park is fiction, and I must say the original two are probably my most favorite movies of all time. And I can definitely recommend the original book. It is described in the book how their DNA was tampered with other animals. Dr. Henry Wu even proclaims it in the first Jurassic World movie. For example, in the book, they are stalked by camouflaged Carnotauruses. I think we can give Jurassic Park some slack, but it should never be used as facts to what these creatures looked or acted like. Now, have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.